Hello, hello. This is Marcus Jacobs with the Wesleyville Borough. And in this video, I'd like to take a couple minutes to talk about our trash collection service. Over the last so many weeks, we have received an increased number of complaints, and we want to address those complaints. So first and foremost, we are committed to delivering the highest level of service to our residents, and we sincerely apologize to anybody who feels that they have had a negative experience with us. We are actively working to tighten up our operations and to ensure that we are consistently meeting expectations. We pride ourselves on being accessible to our residents. If you experience poor service in any way, we encourage you to reach out directly to the borough's public works supervisor or to me, the borough manager. You can contact us via email at publicworks@wesleyville.gov or manager@wesleyville.gov. You can reach out by phone, 814-899-9124. During any of our 21 weekly open hours here at the office, or you can stop by our twice monthly Borough Council meetings and you can speak directly to my bosses, the Borough Council. You know, we take every complaint seriously and we will do our best to address your issues and to make improvements to our operations. So I wanted to take a couple minutes and go through a couple of the specific issues and give you, a little bit of an explanation. So in terms of garbage can damage, one of the most frequent complaints that we've received recently, at least, involves the mishandling and disposal of garbage cans. Let me be clear. Rough handling of cans is not acceptable, and it is not a part of our policy. It is not how we want to be engaging in providing this service. Any such incidents will be addressed on a case-by-case basis, and we will do what we can to improve. That said, some level of wear and tear is unavoidable. These cans are exposed to the elements. They are baking in the sun, they're freezing in the winter, and they're bearing significant weight. Over time, the plastic becomes brittle, handles break, lids are lost in the wind, and large cracks can make them unsafe for our crew to handle. In those cases, we use yellow stickers to mark bins that are no longer safe. The sticker clearly states that if the can is placed out again, it will be treated as garbage and will be discarded. Please do not simply remove the sticker and continue to use the can. Our team records the addresses where the sticker labels are applied, and cans that are put out again after being flagged will be discarded. If you believe that your can was marked in error, you are welcome to contact us. A Public Works employee will gladly re-inspect that bin, and you can discuss right there with them your thoughts on it, and they'll maybe explain their reasoning, and maybe they will reconsider. So we recognize this policy can be inconvenient, but it is important that we have a clear, fair process for rejecting damaged bins. Some bins just get too flimsy and difficult to handle. In terms of the trash truck breakdowns, another concern has been raised about delays caused by our trash truck breaking down. The borough currently only operates one garbage truck, and there is just no world where we will be buying a second truck. I mean, these things cost $200,000. So, we got to do the best with what we can. In 95% of cases, routine maintenance is handled without disrupting service. It happens without you even realizing it. We're constantly doing oil changes, and we just did all new tires on the truck, last month and everything. However, on occasion, a larger mechanical issue can sideline the truck for several days or a week, and oftentimes that's because these are specialized parts, and we got to wait for the parts to get here. This is unfortunately a part of the reality of operating a heavy piece of equipment. We are actively working with the city to finalize an agreement that would allow us to rent one of their trucks during emergencies. Please note, however, that this agreement is still being negotiated, and first and foremost, their concern is the city. So we're kind of having to work back and forth like, guys, can you work with us here? And also that would come at an additional cost to us. So that's something that we would have to take into consideration as well. So more broadly, I wanted to give a couple stats about our service and then also about the market conditions more broadly. So every week, our trash crew services more than 1,400 addresses, 1,400. And that is across 10 miles of the borough streets. collecting 25 to 30 tons of garbage. That is 50,000 to 60,000 pounds every week that is picked up by our very crew. Rain or shine, in blizzards, or even in 90-degree heat, they do it. They deal with maggots, cockroaches, and every smell imaginable. It's grueling work, and I have the utmost respect for the members of our team who show up day in and day out and get the job done. It's a job that's increasingly difficult to staff because few people are willing to do it, especially under the challenging conditions. I mean, for real, when we're hiring for public works, you know, we say, oh, you have to clean out the sewers and do the parks, and they go, oh, it's all great, yeah, I can do that. And then we say, well, but in terms of the garbage collection, you have to do garbage collection too, and that's the smelliest thing you're going to do. And people say, oh, yeah, I can do it, and then they try for a day, and then they can't do it. They don't come back. So it's very difficult to get staff on the back of this truck willing to do it day in and day out. As for outsourcing our service, there are only a few qualified private contractors in our region. These are for-profit companies that operate under one principle. If they can't make money, they won't provide the service. Even if the initial contract with a private hauler comes in at a comparable or even a slightly lower cost, the risk for us is long-term. Once we give up control of our service and dismantle our in-house operations, we lose all leverage. At contract renewal time, that vendor can raise prices significantly, and we will have little choice but to accept their offer. Look no further than Harbor Creek Township, our neighbor. They are under contract with Waste Management, and last year they experienced a tough contract negotiation with Waste Management that resulted in 5 years of annual rate increases totaling $50 of increase over the next 5 years. $50 of increase. Waste Management, as the massive corporation they are, they demanded their terms. Let me remind everybody of Snowmageddon event last November. Wesleyville delayed garbage pickup by just 1 week. In reality, we could have probably delayed it just by a day, but then I was telling the crew, like, nobody's dug out their cans, the bags are blending in, and the snow piles are so high it's hard to get this garbage truck down these streets and everything. We said, okay, we thought it was more logical and more effective to just delay for 1 week. So that's what we did. But then the next week, the following week, 1 week after a huge snowstorm, we were back out there picking up garbage. Meanwhile, in Harbor Creek, Waste Management took 26 days to resume trash service. Regardless of how many residents called or how often the township staff reached out demanding service, the response was, we'll get to you when we get to you. To Waste Management, Harbor Creek is just a number. To us, Wesleyville is our only priority. Our public works crew serves only this community. Most everybody on the public works crew lives right here in the borough. They're your neighbors. When you have a concern, you can speak directly to the public works supervisor, the borough manager, or to the volunteer borough council. Try calling Waste Management. You'll likely get an automated message, you'll be on hold for 30 minutes, and good luck reaching their board of directors. Our council is our board of directors, and you have access to them twice a month. Good luck getting a hold of Waste Management's board of directors. So a final word. We have been made aware of a protest being planned outside of the Borough Hall, and you are absolutely within your right to participate. You are encouraged to do so. We want to hear your concerns. And your First Amendment right is respected and protected here, absolutely. Now, it's easy to gather at the Borough Hall. We're conveniently located right at the corner of Buffalo Road and Market Street. I'd like to pose this question to you. If you wanted to protest Waste Management, where would you even go? Us, we are headquartered right here in the borough. We're hyper-local. As a borough, we are the lowest form of government, meaning that we are the closest and most responsive to the people. We serve only you, and we're here to listen. I hope this video provides some clarity on these issues. If you have questions, ideas, or concerns, we welcome your feedback. Please do not hesitate to reach out. We strive for the utmost quality of service, and we're always working to improve. On another note, we will soon be releasing a separate video about our plan to transition to tippable bins. We've secured a great deal on these new containers, and I'm very excited to share more information about that program with you soon. So that is all I have in this video. Again, if you have any questions, thoughts, or anything, we encourage you to reach out. Thank you.